Galactic Geeks, it's Devin. So I didn't do a Baby Driver review, and that's because when I was about to go see it the day I recorded that video, my buddy canceled on me last second, and so I couldn't go see it. Well, I could, but it would have been by myself, and that's pretty lame. So we rescheduled. It'll probably be early next week that I see it. I probably won't put a review up for it, just because who wants that review, you know, 2 weeks after it happens. So this is the review for Spider-Man, which I did see today, about an hour ago or so. It's really good, guys. So I'm gonna get right into it. Spoilers involved, maybe. So don't watch if you don't want spoilers, obviously. It's really good, guys. So the rumors were before the movie came out that it was gonna have a very John Hughesy kind of feel, you know, Breakfast Club, all that, and it kind of did. It wasn't like too heavy on it, but it kind of did. It was really good action. Story was pretty good. They didn't really shoehorn Tony Stark in like I thought that they were going to do. You know, he gives him the suit and whatnot, but aside from that, like, how do you get him to come back and back and back? And they didn't really shoehorn it in. It was appropriate when he would show up. He didn't just really ever show up out of nowhere. The acting was good. Tom Holland's really good. The side characters were pretty good. The best friend was good. The love interest really didn't have much to do. And, I mean, I guess she was okay. Zendaya's MJ or whatever. She was okay. She didn't really do that much. She had maybe like 10 to 15 lines of dialogue in the whole movie, really. But, I mean, she was good while she was in it. Michael Keaton was great as the Vulture, and when he did show up, Robert Downey Jr. was good. So was Jon Favreau. Jon Favreau was really good in this. So they did tweak the origins and stuff a little bit, you know, like we didn't really hear about Uncle Ben. It might have been referred to. They mentioned some stuff that happened with his aunt recently. Not really sure what it was. They didn't go into detail, but I'm assuming it's Uncle Ben or something. They're just not gonna go, you know, dive into that, which is good because every other Spider-Man movie has, and this really was good that they didn't dive too heavily into the origins. He was already established from Civil War and stuff, and so they just went right into Spider-Man action. We didn't have to set up origins and stuff like that. Some good links with the Vulture, and his daughter is actually the love interest, but you don't find that out until like a second before the movie does, you know, and that kind of thing. Like I said, the action was good. Some of the best parts of the movie, I thought, were there's an AI in Spider-Man's suit, just like an Iron Man suit, and he names it Karen, which is good. A lot of the best scenes in the movie, I feel, were him talking to the AI with no one else around. And there was obviously good scenes with the other people in the movie too, but my personal favorites, I think, were the scenes where he's just talking with the suit and stuff. Very, very weird ending. So the entire movie, Spider-Man wants to be an Avenger, and he's trying to get Tony Stark to make him an Avenger. And, you know, classic last second, oh, you're an Avenger now, and he's like, well, thanks, Mr. Stark, but I don't really want to be an Avenger, you know, like, I want to just live my life and stick low to the ground, be your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man kind of thing, which is charming and good, but at the same time, it's like, okay, we knew he wasn't going to be an Avenger, you know, he'll be in Avengers, I'm sure, but he won't be an Avenger per se, I don't think. At the very end, when he tells him he's an Avenger, he says that there's like a crowd of like 50 reporters outside waiting for Spider-Man to be announced as the new official Avenger. And then when he says he doesn't want it, he's like, oh, it was a test, wasn't it? You know, like, there's not actually 50,000 reporters out there or whatever. And Tony Stark's like, yeah, you're right, yeah, and go in the car. And then Happy and Tony are having a conversation, and out of nowhere, Pepper Potts shows up for the first time in 5 years? Yeah, because Iron Man 3 And I don't think she was in Avengers 2. So Iron Man 3, yeah. So 2013. So for the first time in 4 years, she shows up out of nowhere, and there's a joke about them getting married as the announcement instead of Spider-Man, and, you know, so the news and blah blah. And then I think that's what's going to happen. But that's not very well set up, considering the fact that in Civil War they were broken up, and he was all distraught about that. And I'm pretty sure I don't know. It worked. It was fine. It was cute, but it felt a little forced as a way to bring her back into the universe, seeing as how she hadn't been around in 4 years of it. So, but overall it was good. Like I said, the action was solid. The action was solid. The acting was solid. The music was pretty good. A lot of classic songs. The post-credit scenes were really good. So the middle one, obviously Vulture finds out who Spider-Man is, because that's how we find out that his daughter is and stuff. So Vulture finds out that Peter is Spider-Man, and then he gets put in jail at the end of the movie. And halfway through, we see a guy who got like burned on half his face, and I believe his name was Matt Gorgon, so the Scorpion, and he was in a scene about halfway through the movie. He's saying, "I got some people on the outside ready to beat up this Spider-Man kid. Word on the street is you know who he is." And he's like, "No, I don't know who he is. If I did, he'd be dead already." But he does, you know, and I don't know if it's supposed to be redemption for the Vulture, or just respect, or what it is. It's a little bit of all that, I suppose. But, so that was the first one, and then the second one was really funny. And actually, a couple people in my theater were really pissed off about it, but I didn't mind it. I enjoyed it, actually. So during the whole movie, during like gym class and stuff like this, there's like little videos that the gym teacher and stuff shows, and detention and stuff, and it's Captain America, you know, Steve Rogers, and he's like pulling up a chair and like giving him the chat, and you know, like, you know, fitness is important, you know, and stuff like that, and it's really funny. And so then at the very end of the credits, there's a scene where Captain America is like, he comes on screen and does another one of those, and he's like, "You know what's really important? Patience. Waiting all this time to see nothing, you know, there's nothing to be seen here, you know?" And then it's basically a joke about how, like, you're expected to have post-credit scenes, and so everyone stays and waits for him, and, you know, it's kind of silly that people do that. But you never know. It worked. I thought it was funny, but the people in my theater were pretty pissed off about it. So that'll be a hit or a miss, I'm sure. I'll look forward to seeing the internet's reaction to that. So, with that, that's the Spider-Man review. I'll let you guys know what I'll be doing next. I'm not quite sure if anything comes out next week, but I'll let you know. And 2 years coming up. A lot of breaks between, I know, but, you know, 2 years. It'll be, I think, 2 weeks until 2 years, which will be right about Valerian, I believe. And I will see that, and I will review that, and with that, I'll end the video. So, thanks, guys. Also, OMG, the podcast, I'm trying to figure out how to get it on, like, iTunes and stuff, and if I can figure that out, then I'll be doing more of that, and I'll be putting it on iTunes or whatever, you know, Android, whatever. If I can figure that out, I'll do that. If not, they'll still be uploaded to the channel, just like they are now. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!